Welcome everyone, welcome back to 3x3 Reviews. I'm your host Solitarius. Today we're going to be taking a look at Kinfire Delve, a small box, dungeon crawling, dice rolling, card playing adventure game designed by Kevin Wilson and published by Incredible Dream. In Kinfire Delve, Vainglory's Grotto, the players are going to be taking the role of adventurers or heroes who are keepers of the Kinfire, some kind of magical light that keeps the darkness at bay. I'm not too familiar with the IP. I've never played Kinfire Chronicles, so to me this is a little bit generic fantasy, but it's still fun. So in the world of Kinfire Delve, there are these wells that are apparently putting out bad energy into the world, and it's up to our adventurers to go down there with their Kinfire lanterns and dispel the darkness or dark energy or whatever is accumulating there. They're just kind of going down steps, or are there chambers in this well? I don't know. The setting is a little strange. But they're trying to get to the bottom of this well, and they're trying to fight Vainglory and take out Vainglory because she's bad and bringing darkness to the world. There are a lot of these kind of fantasy-themed card dice rolling adventure games. So how does Kinfire Delve stack up against the competition? Let's take a look. So I've had Kinfire Delve for several months. I think I've played it enough to come up with a pretty solid opinion of it. So let's start with the pros. First, the artwork in this game is incredible. It is some of the best artwork I've seen in one of these card games, and I have played a lot of these adventure card games. Sometimes art gets in the way of utility, but I think that the layout and the design of these cards is great. They're colorblind friendly. It's very easy to see what's going on. It's easy to read the powers. It's easy to see the stats that you need to look at. They're very easy to parse. So some of the cards have a foil effect. Some of the cards are embossed. It's absolutely a fantastic game to handle, to play, to look at. So the aesthetics of this game are really, really pleasing. The second thing I really like about this game is the asymmetry between the heroes. Both heroes play very, very differently. They play according to fantasy tropes. You have Asha of Bilbrook, who's kind of like your thief, sneaking around, thief stealth character. The game also comes with a tank character named Core, who's really good at dealing and absorbing damage. And so the two of them together play really well. It's just fun using the strengths of one character to try to cover up for the weakness of another and to time things out to exploit their maximum potential. It's just really great. Each character also has a lantern that during the game you can flip over for a really, really powerful effect. And deciding when to flip the card and how to use it just becomes another just delicious decision that you have to make during the game. So the third thing that I like about this game is the tempo of this game. During this game, in order to get to Vainglory, you have to go through this large deck of opponents. And these opponents are no joke. This card named Masterpiece needs 9 damage. This card, the Filigree Clock, needs 12 progress. And a lot of your cards, looking at your deck at first, a lot of your cards, you're like, oh, this obstacle needs 12 progress, and all I have is I have 3, I have 2, I have another 3, this one's 0. How in the world can I possibly deal? Because every time I attack this creature and I don't destroy it, it hits me back. The heroes only get to have 10 health to spend during the entire game, and healing is very, very rare and difficult. So you're going through, you're playing your cards, and you're thinking, how in the world can I do this? And not only that, but you don't draw cards. Once you're out of cards, you're exhausted. To draw more cards, you have to play an exhaustion card, which will accelerate the end game and get you one step closer to losing. So you're trying to you're really protecting your precious resource of cards, and it just seems like mathematically there's no way you can win, but as you play card by card, round by round, helping each other out, you slowly whittle this deck down. It is a very, very good feeling to see your progress really stack up, even though it just seems like you have no chance at the beginning of the game. And that's a great feeling. I love that game. I love games that seem really difficult, that are really going to put you through the ringer, but then with a little bit of skillful play and a little bit of thought, you can overcome obstacles that just seem impossible. And that's the main thing for me that separates this game from the competition. You're slowly crawling uphill. You're slowly chipping away at these difficult bosses. You're playing games, trying to get your powers to interact with each other and getting the timing just right. And it is just a delicious, fun puzzle every time. But before you rush out to buy Kinfire Delve, just on my recommendation, there are some issues that might be deal breakers for people. First, some people are not going to like the luck of the dice. You are going to need to get so many successes or something really terrible is going to happen. And in this game, when you roll those dice, there is no luck mitigation. There are no re-rolls that I have seen in the game. You don't get to add a +1. It just is what it is. You play your cards and you take a chance. And some people are not going to like that. Some people are going to think it's a little too swingy, a little too luck dependent. They want a little bit more control. And if that's going to bother you, having to roll dice with absolutely no mitigation, you're going to want to stay away because this game will frustrate you. Like I said, this will be a con for some people. For me, I don't mind the dice. I feel like the dice give a little bit of uncertainty and a little bit of spice to the game. Now, this one is probably going to be a bigger deal breaker for more people. This game is advertised as a 1 to 2 player game. It does have a dedicated solo mode, which is essentially to play one hero. In the game, the cards are all multi-use, and at the bottom of each card, you have buffs that you can essentially give to your teammate on their turn. When you play one player, you just buff yourself. So, you'll have I think you start out with a hand of 8 cards, and so you'll play a card, and then you'll say, okay, I play this card, and then I'm going to play this to buff, and I'm going to play this to buff. So, essentially, you just buff yourself, which is fine, but I feel like you lose a lot of the flavor of having 2 asymmetric characters interact with each other. You end up, the game ends up being a lot more swingy. The game ends up being sometimes just difficult or impossible. Sometimes you're just going to have a hand that your character cannot deal with the obstacles. Whereas if you had the other character present, they could handle this obstacle, you could handle this enemy, and you would be able to feel like you had more control of the situation rather than just hoping that certain cards don't flop out of the deck. So that's my big concern. Is I don't think the game is totally balanced and at its maximum potential of fun with just one character. And the third thing that's going to be a deal breaker is this game does reference being able to play this game 3 to 4 players, but you need to buy another box. There's 2 more boxes about this size coming out. I'm assuming they're all going to have 2 heroes and they're going to have 2 villains. This one only comes with a single villain. So it's going to be the same 2 characters up against the same villain. So essentially you're going to do the same matchup every time. Now, the deck of cards is large. You only encounter about 1/3 of it every game. So you really don't know what you're going to come up against, but you're going to have the same matchup. So with another set, you're now going to have 4 heroes, which is not only going to let you play with 4 players, but when you're playing with 2, it's going to let you explore different combinations and different matchup of heroes, which is, I feel like, going to really give the game legs, give the game more replayability. So right now, I feel like, even though I've played this game several times, I still want to play it. I haven't gotten tired of it. I do like these heroes. I am looking forward to adding some more heroes and injecting some more novelty and just excitement into the game. So while I think the replayability is fine, it's a little disappointing that they couldn't squeeze a little bit more. Just adding a few more cards would have really added a lot of variety. I know that they're going with a theme of this is Vainglory's Grotto, so this is like one enemy, but they didn't really have to do it that way. I feel like just one more enemy, just a few more cards would have really added to the replayability. On the other hand, this box is very reasonably priced. It's about $20. You can get it on Incredible Dreams website. I'm just a little disappointed that there couldn't just be a little bit more variety in this box, but it's not a deal breaker for me. I'm in on this. I love the system. This is one of my favorite adventure card games, and I have a lot of them. This is one that I thought I would play maybe 3 times and have explored everything. I mean, it's just 2 heroes and 1 villain, but I've played this game 8, 9, 10, 11 times now. I've lost count. And I'm going to play more. In fact, now that I have it set up on my table, I might play it again. So I hope this review has been helpful as to whether or not you should add Kinfire Delve to your perhaps already crowded shelf. It's small, it's fun, it's a great experience. It's got some rough edges, not having a great pure solo mode, and luck of the dice might be a little too much for people. But if you are willing to overlook that, or you don't mind playing 2 characters, or you love rolling dice, then this game might be one to consider. So anyway, if you found this review helpful, leave me a comment, like the video, subscribe to my channel. I'll be having hopefully more content like this coming out soon. And until we meet again, I'm Solitarius. Keep on gaming, and we'll see you next time.